Let's start again first, shall we? The last video, I did an entire video and the audio was not working. So no sound on that one. Let's start again. That's frustrating because I've run out of time. I really need to be getting on with stuff. And then I get a phone call in the middle. I should have put it on airplane mode. You did not want to hear that at the beginning of the video. I'm sorry. Let's start again, shall we? Hi. It's been a month since I've chatted with you, and there have been developments since then. We have unfortunately had to apply for universal credit, as I said in the past that we might have to, because the business stuff is still going too slow to start making an income yet. It does take a long time. I don't care what anybody says, to do this kind of thing, it does take time. And sometimes these things just happen. We had to. Our migration date was come on. They said you have to apply by such a date or every single penny is being cut and you're not going to get anything after that because you have to apply. It doesn't automatically migrate. You have to apply. So we had to apply because we had nothing else to fall back on just yet. Lots of reasons I didn't want to. I think I've mentioned it in previous videos, so I don't want to go through all of that again, except to say that once you're on it forever. Even when your wages go up and you don't get any benefits, because it calculates what you're earning and reduces the benefit equally, and so your wages overtake and you don't need it at all, which is fine. That's exactly how it should be. I'm hoping to be able to be in that position, but even though you don't need a penny of that benefit, you will always be on that system, no matter what. And whether you like it or not, the digital currency is coming in just as much as the digital ID, and we're not going to be able to do anything about it. No amount of petitions are going to change that, because that's their plan and that's what they want, and we're just going to have to put up with it. So once you're on there, you never get off. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. I will, in the other channel, I will explain and share with you how we're managing from the food storage and the garden and the things that we've done over there to help us weather this 6 weeks. What I'd like to share how we get on with what we've done with the preparations. As I've said before, preparation is everything. It's getting out of debt, it's building your food storage. If you've got a garden, making sure you've got stuff in the garden, making sure you've got a really good community that can help out when things get really tough. Also make sure you know where your food banks are and your community hubs. And there's lots of ways you can get really creative to be able to make ends meet. We have in the past, in our lifetimes, gone, everybody knows how to really scrimp and live on very, well, I think most people do. We've all forgotten how sometimes, but we've all been through stages where if you're lucky you get like your packet noodles of a day, and maybe if you're lucky some stir-fried vegetables to go with it, or you've got cheese on toast or beans on toast or tomatoes and sausages, maybe if you're lucky, or mashed potatoes, and those really old-fashioned, very frugal, poor man dishes, comfort food, that was got even more pinching than it was during the war, because I remember in the 80s, in the 1980s, we had diets that resembled similar things to what they had then. Because I've got the Feeding the Nation book and some more cultural history books on wartime living and food and rationing and all of that. So I'm quite well aware, and I'm able, because my mum was a very frugal cook and a homemaker, and I learned make, do and mend from my mum and the frugality. And I'm so grateful for that. I mean, yeah, there was no choice in those days. And I am so grateful for her example. Because of that, I know how to do what I need to do. And because I've kind of lived in those ways in a more abundant way than my mum did, my daughter and my son have a better example of how they can cope today. So even though they're only just in their 30s, they have that example as well, should they really need to. And I'm so proud of my children for especially my daughter, for the way she makes do and turns a negative into a positive. It's difficult, but I'm really grateful that I was able to pass on that stuff that I learned from my mum. So lean on what you already know, lean on what you've learned from those around you, from history, and get a community. That's what I'd like you to get from this. There is a way we can prepare, and I'm going to share with you how we get through these 6 weeks. That's how we've been told it's going to be, about 6 weeks. So I'll share with you how we get through that without going to the shop, because there is that's just the way it is right now. So let's see how we get on with that. There is a way that you can do these things abundantly with a positive mindset. It does not have to be scarcity. It does not have to be fearful, as long as you are preparing. As soon as you get your migration notice, or rather months before that, we knew at the beginning of the year, I think I shared with you earlier in the year, we knew that this was going to come eventually. We didn't know when our date was going to be, but we knew that this was happening. So we immediately started doing what we needed to in the food storage, the garden, our habits, everything, the bank account, and getting out of overdraft. Those things matter, and they make a difference. So as soon as you know now that these things are coming, if it hasn't happened to you yet, it will. So start now and prepare for it. It will make a very big difference. And as soon as we had one notification in August saying that we needed to apply before October the 2nd, because that was cut-off day. And then we had another notification in September. So I'd put a note in my diary and on my phone as an alert to remind me that I needed to do this within 2 weeks of that cut-off date, which I did. So we are now in that period. And I am not fearful. I am not stressed. I am relieved. I am overwhelmed with the kindness and generosity of people around us. I am grateful for the examples I've grown up with, and they would help me weather this time. I'm looking forward to be able to sharing that with you, and how you can do that without the horror. I know that for some people it's going to be anyway, because they have no other means of preparing. They have much, much less than we have. I understand that. I can sympathize with that. I have always been blessed to be abundant even in scarcity. So I'm grateful for that. And I think that's a lot to do with mindset, and not focusing on lack, but focusing on what you can do, not what you can't do. I think that's really important. So if you are in that position where you're going to be migrating, I hope this helps you. Do let me know in the comments section if you've been through it, are going through it. If you know somebody who has, maybe isn't relevant to you at all. I'm really grateful that it isn't. But if you know somebody for whom it is relevant, do share it with them. Do like and subscribe if you haven't already done that. And I shall speak to you again soon. Do pop over to Blue Garden Cottage where you can keep up with all of these things, and I'll let you know. Again, I'll do another catch up at the end of October, but I will put links in that video to the other. I'll make a playlist of what shall I call it? I don't want to call it frugal living. I don't want to call it something scarcity mindset. I want to call it something to do with thriving. So I'll put that in a playlist. I'll make a playlist in the other channel, one for that, and then I'll put it in the next video for you next month on the catch up. In the meantime, also do look in the description box, because I put things in the description box I sometimes forget to put in the video, and all the links where you can find out what else I'm doing. And hopefully, let's hope that very soon, not that one, very soon the business will take off, and I will be able to be more self-reliant and self-sufficient and be able to share that with you too. Take care, folks. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.